Winnipeg Jets win 6-3, their first big blowout win of the season, and it was a great win all around, and a day that we really needed to see some really good hockey from the Winnipeg Jets. I think almost every Jet fan, regardless of how you stand at this point on the trade, has been hurting and had a rough day. So at least for me, someone who's had a really hard day with all this stuff and really upset about it all, this was a really nice, kind of not reward, but nice payoff for the end of the day, I would say, to watch my team kick some ass against the Ottawa Senators. And this was a great game from top to bottom. There was a lot of improvement in a lot of different areas of the ice in today's game, nonetheless, in my opinion. For starting off with the first play, we started the game off, in my opinion, a little sloppy. We were chasing ourselves a little bit in the defensive end and a little bit in the offensive end as well. We were being outplayed, outskated, and that was only for about, I'd say, the first 4 or 5 minutes of the period. And after that, the team settled right down really quickly, and the Jets looked like the Jets, and from then and on, basically, it was a constant barrage of scoring that they did for the Winnipeg Jets. But don't let this scoreboard confuse you if you didn't watch the game. It was a lot closer than it may look by the end of the game. And starting off the back, I want to talk about Connor Hellebuyck, because I feel like he was the most kind of like what the hell is going on type of player in this game, because he started off this game with some immaculate saves. He stacked the pads. I don't know, I think it was on Tkachuk, but either way, on Stepan maybe, but beautiful save there. Old school style saved. I love that. And after that, though, he let in some really bad goals. The first, all 3 goals that Hellebuyck let in my opinion, were really bad goals. 2 really bad 5-holes, one by Dadonov when he's already down, just flicking the puck towards the net. And the other one, I think it was Chris Tierney, but I'm not 100% sure on who the goal scorer was there for Ottawa. But nonetheless, another bad 5-hole, and it just did not look good for him from there. But then he composed himself and played a better game. Also, Hogberg played a very good game for Ottawa. He looked really confident in net, even though at the end they had that constant barrage of scoring on him and kind of ruined the way the game looked for him. But he kept it close for Ottawa, in my opinion, because the Jets' offense looked like a really good, different Jets' offense team today, nonetheless, in my opinion. But yeah, the power play also, what the hell happened? I literally just made a video in my Line video. I talked about how I think the power play is going to immensely struggle because Line is gone now, and it has in his absence in the last 3-4 games. But nonetheless, the power play looked great today. There was a lot of puck movement. The second power play scored the first goal of the game from Nick Ehlers with a beautiful clapper. And again, I said in my video, what's going to happen? We're going to put Nick Ehlers on that power play and expect him to clap shots like that from Laine's spot? I'm being proved wrong literally hours after my video went live. So nonetheless, I'm excited for that, to see what happens with Ehlers and his power play. If that shot is something that he can sustain, could be a really good year for him offensively, which I already think it will be. But nonetheless, let's move on to my notes a little bit more. And after that, really, the team just looked good. Like, that's basically the best thing I could say about this game. Like, the Jets, they weren't chasing themselves. The defense looked pretty stable. That's not to mention the fact that Dylan DeMello drew into the lineup today for the first game of the season after him and his wife had their baby girl, I believe it was. And he looked great. He was very composed. He jumped in on the rushes. He had a couple good opportunities there if he couldn't fumble the puck to get some good opportunities and goal-scoring opportunities in his first game. And I loved seeing that from him. And also, in my opinion, Morrissey looked a little bit more stable in his own end tonight. There were times where he was chasing himself, but he looked better than what he had been in the past few games. If that's something that's sustainable with DeMello on him, with playing with him, that's something I'm looking really forward to in the future. But yeah, nonetheless, I thought that looked really good. Morrissey, when he was with DeMello, it looked good. And not to mention, Morrissey just looked a little bit more responsible in the power play at some times, which is something I hope that if he actually gets more power play time this season, which could be most likely now that Patrick Laine is gone, I think that's something really good that the Jets need to kind of hold on to, because Morrissey being good in the power play could be an underrated asset for us moving forward. Even though he's been really bad in the past games, I'm not going to deny that. I think that there is a good possibility that he could improve his game going into the next few games, and we'll have to see what that looks like, obviously. Time will tell what the Jets' power play will look like. Just because they had success one game doesn't mean to excuse the fact that they were horrible for the last 3. So let's see what happens with that, but nonetheless, I'm very happy that the power play looked good today and looked much improved on both units compared to what it had been in the past. And getting into the second period, right before that, I was watching Sportsnet, and they obviously had the Pierre-Luc Dubois interview with Ron MacLean, and that was something very interesting for me to listen to. Wish there was something like that with Patrick Laine instead, since it was obviously Laine playing, but I like to hear Dubois' side of the story nonetheless. Very well-spoken guy, I will say that, and I understand where he's coming from, and I understand where both these players are coming from in this, and I think that they're both handling it pretty well, in my opinion, considering they're both star players and respectively for their clubs. And I just want to say that I liked that interview. It kind of calmed me down a little bit more about, like, the overpay, because Dubois is going to be a good fit here. I know that, but it's just hard to lose a guy like Laine. And nonetheless, it was nice just to hear Dubois talk, hear a little bit more about his situation. I thought that was a fantastic interview done by Ron MacLean there by Sportsnet. I thought that was a great one. So just wanted to touch on that a little bit before we jump into the second period. And jumping into the second period, some guy who has looked solid up until this point, Christian Vesalainen, baby. What have I been telling you guys? I've been saying it since that video I made when he was on fire in Liga. Vesalainen could be a really underrated asset this season. He was great on the puck. He had a lot of body in it. He was moving the puck well. He was using his hands. He just looked like a much better player, more composed than what he was when we saw him with the Jets previously, and that had me really excited. I liked a lot of what I saw from Vesalainen on that third line today, and very excited to see what else he brings to this team moving forward. If he continues to stick, I think that could be another surprising get for the Jets moving forward. I honestly think, and I'm not just saying this, if Vesalainen really does improve off of what he showed in Liga and what he's starting to show more and more in his game, he could become a decent contributing power forward to the top 6. That's a big if, but I think things could go wrong with him. And also, ever since Logan Stanley made this team, my predictions about prospects have been through the roof and wrong. So I'm just looking forward to seeing if he does show more than what he has in the past. And after that performance in Liga, I'm pretty sure he will. But I want to touch on that because I've been saying it for a while now. Love to see him drawing into tonight's game. And also, Stanley was a little slow today. There were times where he got caught off a little bit with the speed. But other than that, again, another solid performance by Stanley. And he jumped way more in the rush today. He had way more shots on net. He had a couple decent goal-scoring opportunities that I was shocked that he was being jumped into. And I think that we could see a really big jump in Logan Stanley's development this year. I really, really do. Every game, he's getting better and better, more confident. I'm really looking forward to see what he brings next game. I think he could get a goal next game, or an assist at least. I think we see his first NHL point in the next game. I really do. He really was in offensively this game, so looking forward to see what happens within the next game. Also, another thing we have to talk about is Blake Wheeler getting his 500th NHL assist today. That is awesome. Congratulations to Blake Wheeler. A couple of videos ago, I thought that he got that. Some guys in the comment section told me that's what they were saying he was very close to. I didn't even realize that. I actually thought that he probably got it, but nonetheless, huge congratulations to Blake Wheeler, who, again, looked much improved to where he's been the past few seasons. A lot more speed. He wasn't as clumsy with the puck, I felt like, in a lot of moments, other than when he got hit a couple times. And another quick note, a lot of penalties should have been called this game by both teams with cross-checking and interference behind the net and around that crease area that it didn't get called. Very weird to see that going for both sides. I wish that they called it a little bit more, because it was a little bit, kind of disgusting at some points how much there was letting slide, but nonetheless, we still won the game. Can't complain about the little things. But yeah, Wheeler looked great. I thought that he has shown improvement, like I've said, and I'm looking forward to see if he continues this improvement or if he's just on a little bit of a hot streak. A lot of people are thinking this is Blake Wheeler's decline year. It could be his decline year. I think last year was his decline year a little bit more, but nonetheless, I think that this year he could be a solid contributing player still. I don't think he's at that point where he's going to plummet to like a 40-point guy or less, so we're going to have to wait and see, but I definitely think Wheeler has more left in the tank than some people are giving him, and even myself starting these videos off at the start of the season compared to where we are now, I definitely think he looks a little bit more composed, more ready, and quicker on the puck, and that's something that I really wanted to see happen because I was nervous it wouldn't. So nonetheless, happy with that, obviously. And Heli turned into trash. That's what I wrote in my notes, and I just want to say that because I think it's funny because that's how I felt watching this game. After he let in that goal from the other 5-hole goal, I was like, what the hell happened to this guy? How do you stack the pads like that, have almost a shutout in the next game, then poop the bed? But you know what, nonetheless, the Jets still won, and Heli did look better in the third period, so glad he was able to get his stuff together because we need him to win. Hellebuyck is a key part of this club, and if we want to win hockey games, we need good goaltending from him. Like they said at the start of this game, he expects to play 40 to 45 games, so he better be getting at least 30 wins out of all that, in my opinion. But nonetheless, happy to see Hellebuyck continue his win streak and have a great performance other than those bad goals. But yeah, getting into the third period, this is kind of where my notes and my just watching the game kind of took into place. So nonetheless, the power play again, looking much sharper, looking better, looking more composed, coming out of nowhere in my opinion because the Jets have sucked on the power play, like I said in the start of this video, and don't know really how it's stayed like that, but nonetheless, I'm happy that the power play is going to get going. I just hope it's sustainable. If it's sustainable hockey for the Jets moving forward with Pierre-Luc Dubois coming in on the power play and hopefully maybe even jumping it a little bit more and getting Paul Stastny to that second unit, getting Perreault off, I think there's going to be a good power play kind of mix. I also think the Jets are going to tweak their power play and how they run things. I think how they ran things today is going to be more of what we expect because they have a lot of bruising centers that play the middle of the ice really well. I expect they're going to have a lot of guys kind of around that hub. Wheeler on behind the net, kind of setting those guys up with the defenseman hanging back, covering the point, looking for a shot. I think that's kind of how they're going to be running it, at least in my head. That's what I was thinking watching it and thinking about what they could do without lining. But yeah, good to see the power play contributing. And also, what the heck was that by Copp? I know he scored the goal, but I wish I was recording my dad's reaction to that because he just went off because, like, You can imagine what it looked like just when he just put that in that second. He was that 1 second before he scored. He was just going screaming, and it was hilarious. But nonetheless, I thought that was a good goal for them, and I'm also happy to see Stastny get on the board finally. He's been having some great play, and some people have been worried about that. But I said in my last couple of videos, don't worry about Stastny's production. It's coming. He's making the right plays. He's winning faceoffs. He's in the right place. It's going to come, and it did today with 2 points and a goal and assist. So happy to see Stastny get 2 points in his home opener for the Jets this season. And honestly, that was great to watch, and I'm very happy to see Stastny get going. If Stastny does get going, that's going to be big for the Jets again, man. Another contributing part of that top 6 getting points, because Connor looks great, Scheifele looks sharp, Wheeler's getting better and better every game. Ehlers could have potentially the best season of his career, goal-wise, in my opinion. I really think he could in a limited amount of games. He just plays great so far. A lot of speed, a lot of tenacity in his play, and I just like the way he's driving the puck. He looks really, and shooting the puck, looks really good. But yeah, that's basically kind of my take on this game. I thought it was well-rounded for the Jets, improved in a lot of areas I've said that they needed to improve on, and they looked a lot better moving forward throughout all the periods from the start to the end. Although goaltending was shaky, I liked the defense, I liked the improved play by the top 6, and the bottom 6 looked good. Vesalainen looked good to get into his first game like that. Stanley's improving game by game. It's going to be kind of interesting, this new era of the Jets. You know, Patrick Laine is gone. One era has ended. That conference final kind of era I like to think of in a way. That team is kind of gone now. A big part of that team is gone. And we're moving forward with a lot of the same guys, but a lot of the different guys. And I'm excited to see the shape this roster takes this season. I really am. I'm still going to miss Laine, and I'm still upset about the management. But nonetheless, I am looking forward to seeing what happens this season. If you enjoyed this video, guys, definitely consider dropping a subscription regardless of what team you root for, and make sure to turn on notifications if you haven't already. Really do appreciate all the support you guys have been giving on this channel and in every video. It means the world to me. I definitely do really appreciate it. I really, really do. Without you guys, like I say, every video, without you guys watching and liking and showing, commenting, and showing your support for the channel and liking the content, I wouldn't be making it. So you guys are the reason you have this content. So thank you guys for that. And like I said, guys, on every video, peace, love, and positivity. I will see you in the next one, guys. Go Jets, go.